many people, getting inside the minds of women is an exciting adventure that makes them want to learn more about their thoughts and actions. What women say and do is very important. It's up to men to be aware of and understand these clues, which can come up in everyday conversations or through subtle body language. Understanding women's psychology not only helps with understanding, but it also helps men make smart decisions in relationships. But not all signals are positive. Some words and actions from women, if ignored, can have big effects on love and life. Today, let's look at 10 things that a woman may say that may make you rethink the relationship and ask yourself if she really values your investment. This isn't just about being self-aware. It's also about making smart decisions about your future. The key is to understand and objectively evaluate the complicated nature of relationships while nurturing positive values within yourself to create deep and lasting bonds. Before we begin, please show your support by giving the movie a like and following the channel. Stay tuned until the end, because every point is important and may help you see things in a new way. Let's begin. Number 1. It's always about her. It's always about her is an idea that focuses on understanding and meeting the wants, feelings, and experiences of women in different situations. This idea stresses how important it is to understand, listen, and genuinely care about women's thoughts and well-being. This is especially important in personal relationships, the workplace, and social situations, where listening to and respecting women's views can lead to deeper and more meaningful connections. By focusing on her, we hope to make the world a better place for women by making it more welcoming, helpful, and fair. Having empathy and understanding, putting yourself in someone else's shoes and knowing how they feel and what they see is what empathy means. Application. Always try to understand how she feels and what she's been through when you talk to her or connect with her. Listen carefully and without judging. Paying attention. Active listening means paying full attention, following, responding, and remembering what is being said. Attention. Give her your full attention. Use mantras and your body language to show that you are listening. The validation of feelings. Validation means recognizing and accepting someone's feelings without judging them. Meaning, accept that her feelings are real and important. Don't brush off or downplay her feelings. Communication that helps. Definition. Supportive conversation means giving support, understanding, and encouragement. How to use it. Use words that show support and motivation. Help her out and be there for her when she needs you. Honor and fairness. Respect means seeing other people as equals and recognizing their rights and worth. Application. Be kind and respectful to her just like you would to anyone else. Do not act in a biased or arrogant way. Being aware of bias. Bias is when you have opinions or ideas that you already have that affect how you understand and act. Application. Be aware of any biases you may have and work to get rid of or question them. Encourage everyone to feel welcome. Giving power. Increasing someone's confidence and sense of control over their life is what empowerment means. Application. Tell her it's okay to say what she thinks and feels. Help her reach her goals and realize her dreams. When we talk about her, we recognize that women have unique problems and situations. This method creates an atmosphere of understanding, respect, and strength, which leads to better and more significant encounters. Making it always about her can improve relationships and support gender equality, whether you're with a friend or at work. Number 2. I'm busy right now. In today's busy world, many of us have to balance a lot of different jobs and duties. A term we use every day is, I'm busy right now. It's a simple statement, but how we say it can have a big effect on our interactions and how we talk to other people. To keep interactions positive, it's important to say this word with understanding and empathy. Take into account what the other person wants. Before telling someone you're busy, you should notice their presence or request. This shows that you care about them and value their time. Says, I see that you need to talk to me. Be truthful and nice. Explain your current position clearly without sounding rude. Says, I'm really swamped with work right now. If necessary, give a short explanation. Giving a short reason can help the other person understand better what's going on. Let's say, I'm preparing for a critical meeting. Please suggest a different time. To show that you're still interested in talking to them, give them an exact time when you'll be free. May I talk to you in about an hour? Or, I will be free after 3 p.m. Make your words positive. Use positive language to keep the talk friendly, saying, I want to give you my full attention, but right now I need to finish this task. Non-verbal cues are important. Your tone of voice and body language should match what you say. Keep a cool and friendly attitude. Take a quick look at them, smile, and speak in a soft voice. Follow up. Follow through on what you said you would do to show that you value their time and stress. I'm free right now, for example. We need to talk about what you needed. You can make your relationship stronger and make sure the other person feels valued and heard by telling them you are busy in a way that shows compassion and understanding. It's possible to communicate compassionately even when you're busy, if you listen to what they're saying, are honest but kind, explain things, offer options, use positive language, pay attention to body language, and follow up. My ex used to do that. When you're in a relationship, it's usually not a good idea to think about past relationships. If your partner keeps bringing up their ex, you should be worried. When you're shopping with her, for example, and she says something like, my ex had great taste in clothes. He would have loved this outfit. These seemingly harmless comments can make you feel inadequate and unsafe in your current relationship. It's important to realize that she shouldn't constantly compare you to her ex-partners if she wants to build a healthy, trusting relationship with you. Like Epicus says, this situation fits with the Stoic idea of focusing on what we can control. Use what you can to the fullest and let the rest happen as it may. You can't help but think about old relationships, and it's important to put your mental health first by dealing with behaviors in a relationship that keep bringing up old relationships. May mean that your partner hasn't fully moved on or is using the current relationship as a distraction from unresolved emotions. This can make you a rebound partner instead of someone they choose because they really want to connect with you. It's important to be aware of these patterns and not let yourself be used as a temporary, emotional crutch. It might be time to reevaluate the relationship if your partner talks about their ex-partner a lot or just can't get over it. It's not good for your mental health or happiness to be in a bad position, and staying there can cause you unnecessary heartache. It's important to have open and honest conversations about boundaries and expectations in the relationship. If these talks don't lead to positive changes, you may want to think about moving on. Remember that putting your own needs first isn't selfish. It's an important part of keeping relationships healthy. Number 4. It's your fault. Many men in relationships miss an important red flag when a woman refuses to apologize or take responsibility for her actions. This behavior isn't just an oversight or an occasional misunderstanding. It's part of a deeper pattern of behavior that can have a big effect on the dynamics of the relationship. For example, if you make a mistake, she expects you to admit it and ask for forgiveness, no matter how small the issue may be. When she does something wrong, she mysteriously puts the blame on you and absolves herself of any wrongdoing. Instead of admitting faults and working to solve the problem together, she shifts the blame onto you, creating an unhealthy and unbalanced relationship. As the wise Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. Classical advice stresses how important it is to look inside yourself and take responsibility for your actions when dealing with life's problems, including those that happen in relationships. Open communication, mutual respect, and taking turns being responsible are all important for a healthy partnership. Both partners must be willing to own up to their mistakes, sincerely apologize, and work together to find a solution and grow. If one partner ignores or downplays her own mistakes while emphasizing yours, she not only destroys trust and respect, but also starts a harmful cycle of blame and resentment. It's important to recognize this warning sign and deal with it in a mature and clear way. Remember that relationships are based on mutual responsibility, understanding, forgiveness, and appreciation. These feelings must be reciprocated and valued by both partners. If she refuses to own up to her mistakes or work toward better communication and conflict resolution, it could be a sign of deeper issues with her emotional intelligence and maturity. It's important to look at the overall health and compatibility of the relationship, and as hard as it may be, ending a relationship with these kinds of imbalances can lead to personal growth and the search for more fulfilling connections. It's important to find a partner who values honesty, compassion, and mutual respect, because these are the qualities that make a partnership last and mean something. Number 5. Pointing out flaws. It can be tricky to point out flaws in other people. How we talk about flaws can have a big effect on the result, whether we're in a business meeting, a personal relationship, or a casual conversation. Giving constructive advice can help someone grow and get better, but giving feedback that isn't helpful can make someone defensive and angry. The important thing is to have compassion during the conversation and make sure that the feedback is given with a good purpose. Choose the right goal. Before you point out someone's mistake, make sure you want to help them get better, not criticize or put them down. "You always mess this up" is not a good phrase to use. Instead, say, "I saw this could be done better." Pick the best place and time. Give comments in a safe, private place where the person feels valued and cared for. Don't give negative feedback in front of other people. Instead, find a private time to talk with someone one-on-one. Be clear and specific. Instead of making broad statements about the person, talk about specific habits or actions. Instead of saying, "You're so disorganized," say, "I saw that the report was turned in late. Let's figure out how to better meet goals." Use statements with "I." To avoid looking accusatory, frame your feedback from your own point of view. "I feel concerned when reports are late because it affects our project timeline." Give help and solutions, give them feedback along with helpful ideas, and offer to help them get better. Could we set up a weekly check-in to ensure we're on track? Recognize good things. When you give feedback, be sure to also point out the person's strengths and accomplishments. Your creativity helps our team a lot. We need to figure out a way to meet deadlines so that we can show off your best work. Follow up after giving comments, check in to see how the person is doing, and help them more if they need it. How are things going with the new plan for meeting deadlines? Do you need anything else? One important skill for good communication is being able to point out flaws. This is especially true when trying to help people grow and get better. We can make a difference and build stronger, more respectful relationships if we handle this task with kindness, clarity, and a willingness to help. Open and honest communication is a key part of a healthy relationship. Your partner should not only listen to your thoughts and feelings, but also give you feedback that helps you grow as a person. Instead of always pointing out your flaws or shortcomings, they should inspire and motivate you to become the best version of yourself. This builds trust and mutual respect, creating a supportive environment where both partners can thrive personally and as a couple. On the other hand, if your partner consistently lowers your self-esteem or belittles your goals, it's a clear sign that the relationship could be toxic. You have the right to be comfortable in your own skin and be able to present yourself honestly in a healthy partnership. If these important parts are being harmed by negative or constant criticism, it might be time to look at the relationship again. Being able to spot danger signs in a relationship is to have a good and fulfilling relationship. When you're with your partner, it should be a place where you can both feel supported and safe. In the wise words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, a relationship is more than just being with someone. It's about helping you grow and making sure you feel valued and confident in yourself. Building a strong foundation on love and positivity is not only good for the relationship, it's necessary for it to grow and change in a good way over time. This timeless quote says it all. Wherever there is a person, there is a chance to be kind. Building relationships based on understanding, support, and kindness means choosing to be around people who make you feel good and help you grow. In line with the Stoic theory of putting an emphasis on good deeds and meaningful connections, putting your emotional health and personal growth first sets the stage for a fulfilling and enriching relationship journey. Number 6. I have no one else. It's common for women to rely on their partners for emotional support, often using a phrase that's become overused. However, it's important to be clear about your role in the relationship. You are her friend and equal, not her therapist or problem solver. Your main job isn't to diagnose or treat her mental health problems or take on all of her problems. It's natural to want to be the hero and always be there for her. But don't. You should know the limits of your job. If she seems stressed or helpless, that doesn't mean you should step in and help her. As a savior, when you play this role, you unintentionally make her more dependent on you, which could lead to an unhealthy situation where she relies too much on you for emotional stability, when what she really needs is the help and advice of a professional psychiatrist or counselor who can provide individualized mental health support. This expert help goes above and beyond what you can do as a partner and makes sure she gets full care for her health. If you don't recognize and respect these limits, it can cause tension and anger in the relationship. Over time, being the fixer all the time can be hard on your mental and emotional health, making you feel inadequate or angry. Epicurus, a famous Stoic philosopher, said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This quote reminds us of how important it is to be self-aware and set realistic goals. By understanding your limitations and focusing on your own well-being, you can create a healthier dynamic within the relationship. This may even mean having open and honest conversations about getting professional help and encouraging her to take proactive steps towards her mental health journey. In the long run, putting your own mental health first and setting clear boundaries can lead to a more fulfilling and balanced relationship that's good for both you and your partner. Number 7. It was nothing serious. Finding out that your partner has been cheating on you is one of the most heartbreaking things that can happen in a relationship. It cuts at the very foundation of trust, which is what keeps any meaningful connection between two people going. When this happens, it not only breaks the romantic bond, but it also destroys the mutual respect and understanding that should exist between partners. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, a lack of trust is the first step toward disintegration. After an affair, people often feel a lot of different feelings, from shock and disbelief to anger and sadness. It makes them question what they thought about the relationship and the values and commitments that seemed unbreakable to the betrayed partner. May feel bad about themselves and wonder what they could have done differently to keep trust from being broken in these situations. It's important to put your own self-respect and mental health first. The cheating partner may try to downplay how bad their actions were by saying it was just a one-time thing, but it's important to see how serious the situation is. It's not easy to rebuild trust after it's been broken, and repeated promises may not ring true after a betrayal. Infidelity also affects more than one person. Beyond just being physically involved with someone, it shows a deep lack of respect for the emotional purity of the relationship. It casts doubt and fear on the love and friendship that have been built up over time. Quitting a relationship where cheating is happening is not a sign of weakness. Instead, it's a brave act that supports honesty, integrity, and the search for real connections based on mutual trust and respect. As hard as it may be to say goodbye, staying in a relationship where cheating is happening only prolongs the emotional turmoil and keeps both people from finding true fulfillment and happiness. "It was nothing serious" is a phrase that is often used to play down an event or feeling, which can hide how it really affected someone. This phrase can be used to comfort yourself or others, but it can also make what happened seem less important than it really was. For good communication and mental health, it's important to understand and deal with the feelings or events that are behind such a statement. Figuring out the situation. Pay attention to when the phrase "it was nothing serious" is used. It can be anything from small problems to bigger events that someone wants to play down. Validation and empathy. When someone says this, show that you understand. Accept their thoughts and experience even if they try to play it down. Kind words like, I know it might not seem important, but how do you feel about it, can be useful. Aiming for open communication. Make sure the person feels safe enough to talk about how they really feel. If they feel safe, ask them to share more information. Listening with intent. Pay close attention to what people say and don't say. You can get a sense of how someone is really feeling or what happened by reading their body language. How to avoid minimization. When someone is upset, don't say things like, it's not a big deal, or you'll get over it. Providing help. Help or help them in a practical way. Do not be afraid to ask what you can do to assist or just listen. Thinking about what to say and how to answer. Think about what the other person said and then reply with care. This could mean giving them a different point of view, talking about similar situations, or just being there for them. We can make deeper connections and help each other more by responding to the phrase, it was nothing serious, with kindness and understanding. Number 8, being too sensitive. You're being too weak. Although this comment seems harmless, it can mean a lot when aimed at your partner. In a relationship, it's not just about being sensitive. It's also about respect and empathy. It's disappointing when your partner finds fun in making fun of your mistakes or treating your deepest losses as unimportant. When you finally get the courage to talk about these hurtful actions, instead of understanding or an apology, you're met with an insulting comment about how sensitive you are. People often say that you should be able to handle criticism or teasing with mental toughness. But there's a thin line between harmless banter and hurtful behavior, especially when it comes from your partner who should be there for you and understand. As the famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. It's a red flag when your partner not only doesn't recognize your valid feelings but also uses them against you. This is also true in relationships. Insults that are meant to be funny or comparisons to other people's wins will only make you feel bad about your own worth. It's important to know when these kinds of interactions become harmful to your health. For personal growth and happiness, it's important to be around people who make you feel good and help you grow. You can expect your partner to treat you with respect, empathy, and kindness, and it's important to set limits when those expectations aren't met. Relationships should be supportive and positive, not a constant fight to show how strong you are against hurtful comments. Number 9. Obey me. It was nothing serious is a phrase that is often used to play down an event or feeling, which can hide how it really affected someone. This phrase can be used to comfort yourself or others, but it can also make what happened seem less important than it really was. For good communication and mental health, it's important to understand and deal with the feelings or events that are behind such a statement. Figuring out the situation, pay attention to when the phrase, it was nothing serious, is used. It can be anything from small problems to bigger events that someone wants to play down. Validation and empathy. When someone says this, show that you understand. Accept their thoughts and experience, even if they try to play it down. Kind words like, I know it might not seem important, but how do you feel about it, can be useful. Aiming for open communication. Make sure the person feels safe enough to talk about how they really feel. If they feel safe, ask them to share more information. Listening with intent. Pay close attention to what people say and don't say. You can get a sense of how someone is really feeling or what happened by reading their body language. How to avoid minimization. When someone is upset, don't say things like, it's not a big deal, or you'll get over it. Providing help. Help or help them in a practical way. Do not be afraid to ask what you can do to assist, or just listen. Thinking about what to say and how to answer. Think about what the other person said and then reply with care. This could mean giving them a different point of view, talking about similar situations, or just being there for them. We can make deeper connections and help each other more by responding to the phrase, it was nothing serious, with kindness and understanding. Number 10. You are cheating. It was nothing serious is a phrase that is often used to play down an event or feeling, which can hide how it really affected someone. This phrase can be used to comfort yourself or others, but it can also make what happened seem less important than it really was. For good communication and mental health, it's important to understand and deal with the feelings or events that are behind such a statement. Figuring out the situation. Pay attention to when the phrase "it was nothing serious" is used. It can be anything from small problems to bigger events that someone wants to play down. Validation and empathy. When someone says this, show that you understand. Accept their thoughts and experience even if they try to play it down. Kind words like, "I know it might not seem important, but how do you feel about it?" can be useful. Aiming for open communication. Make sure the person feels safe enough to talk about how they really feel. If they feel safe, ask them to share more information. Listening with intent. Pay close attention to what people say and don't say. You can get a sense of how someone is really feeling or what happened by reading their body language. How to avoid minimization. When someone is upset, don't say things like, "It's not a big deal," or "You'll get over it." Providing help. Help them in a practical way. Do not be afraid to ask what you can do to assist, or just listen. Thinking about what to say and how to answer. Think about what the other person said, and then reply with care. This could mean giving them a different point of view, talking about similar situations, or just being there for them. We can make deeper connections and help each other more by responding to the phrase, "It was nothing serious," with kindness and understanding. Saying someone is cheating on you can really hurt your relationship if you don't handle it properly. It's very important to be understanding and kind in these situations while also standing up for yourself and what you believe is right in a healthy relationship. Trust is like the solid ground that everything else stands on, making both people feel safe and valued. But when trust gets shaky because of suspicions and doubts, it can make everything feel unstable. When someone accuses you of cheating without any real proof, it's important to try to figure out why they're feeling that way. Sometimes past experiences, insecurities, or just not talking openly can make someone feel really jealous and suspicious. It's important to talk about these feelings honestly and without blaming each other so you can understand where the other person is coming from and work through it together. As the old saying goes, trust yourself and others will trust you too. That means sticking to your values and beliefs even when things get tough. But it's also important to set boundaries and deal with any behaviors like invading in your privacy or constantly accusing you without reason. If you notice signs of mistrust early on, like your partner going through your stuff or always asking where you've been, it's important to address it calmly and respectfully. You can rebuild trust and make your relationship stronger by talking things out, respecting each other, and facing problems together. But if the accusations keep coming, even after you've tried to work things out, you might need to get outside help or rethink the relationship altogether. In the end, false accusations of cheating can hurt the relationship and both people in it. By talking things out, respecting each other, and building trust, couples can get through hard times and come out stronger. As the saying goes, trusting yourself is the key to earning trust from others, showing how important it is to be yourself even when things are hard. To wrap up today's talk, let's go over the most important and useful lessons for building a healthy relationship. A happy and fulfilling relationship with a woman depends on a few important, non-negotiable factors. It's important to look into these factors to make sure both partners understand each other and build a strong base. As with everyone else, women's feelings have a big impact on how they act and what they choose to do. But this emotional power shouldn't make people forget how important it is to be logical and consistent in their relationships. First and foremost, keeping a sense of mutual respect is the most important part of this, is treating each other with respect, understanding, and care, even when you disagree or face a challenge. Respect is the basis on which trust, appreciation, and real connection are built in a relationship. Furthermore, good conversation is a key part of building understanding and resolving disagreements. Partners can say what they think, feel, and need, when they can talk to each other openly and honestly, clearly making a space where being vulnerable and close can happen. Along with respect and communication, it requires active listening, empathy, and a desire to see things from the other person's point of view without judging or defending them. Shared values and goals are important for a happy relationship, but differences can be beneficial as well. Agreeing on basic values like honesty, integrity, and commitment makes the bond stronger between partners. It gives them a sense of unity and purpose, encouraging them to work together and support each other through life's challenges and celebrate their successes together. Trust is also an important part of a healthy relationship. Honesty, dependability, and stability in words and actions are what build trust. It means keeping promises, being reliable, and following the rules. Trust is important for emotional safety because it lets people be honest and open without worrying about being betrayed or judged. It's also important to support each other's personal goals and encourage personal growth within the relationship. Hobbies and ways to take care of yourself helps people live balanced and happy lives, both as individuals and as a couple. Encourages self-expression, self-exploration, and self-improvement. Strengthens the bond by recognizing and celebrating each other's unique traits. And on the other hand, ignoring warning signs or putting up with bad behavior can hurt the relationship's health and happiness. It's important to deal with problems like manipulation, disrespect, or lack of empathy right away, and get professional help if you need it. Healthy limits. To sum up, self-respect and a dedication to emotional health are essential for building a lasting and satisfying relationship. A satisfying and harmonious relationship with a woman needs a multifaceted approach that puts respect, communication, shared values, trust, personal growth, and mental well-being at the top of the list. These areas must be cared for and dedicated to with care and dedication. Partners can build a strong and lasting connection based on love, support, understanding, and a shared vision for the future. The journey to building and maintaining a healthy relationship is an ongoing one that requires constant effort, understanding, and adaptability as partners go through life's challenges together, growing stronger and closer with each shared experience. Thank you for coming along with me as I try to figure out how women think and act. That you are here today to talk about something interesting and important for improving our relationships is something I appreciate. The information and ideas we talked about today should have made you think and given you useful insights that can improve how you interact with the women in your life. If you related to the ideas we talked about and found them helpful, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below this video. Your feedback not only builds community, but also helps us make future content that effectively addresses your specific interests and concerns. Also, don't forget to watch the videos that go with this one. Linked in the end screen, these resources give you more information and in-depth talks on related topics, giving you a full picture of the many aspects of relationships and how people interact with each other. Thanks for taking the time to read this and give it your full attention. I'm looking forward to continuing our trip together, filled with interesting conversations and growth for both of us. Until we meet again, take care to keep an open mind about relationships and care for them with understanding and empathy. Here's to deeper connections and more exploration.